Yo, 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 what's going on? It's the NRW, where nerds rule the world. It's your boy, Kuya P, and I'm back to do another review, this time with my homies from the Something or Nothing podcast, Tranquil Ashes and Rukage. But before I bring them on, I'm going to show you the trailer for the film where we're going to view today, called Faking a Murder. Let's throw it to it right now, and then we'll come back and we'll talk all about it and tell you what we think, and we'll get onto it. So here we go, Faking a Murderer. Here we go.
Our shoot is officially happening.
Okay. Tell me which one found the tape? Which one?
We found the tape when we were online.
I found the tape when we were doing a routine exercise to find more potential projects for our company.
This could be our next movie.
There's 2 cameras right here.
We think he did kill somebody. We have found 2 people willing to go on camera. Adam and I are going to look for this guy.
I love you guys, but you're not investigators.
The next logical step is for us to investigate murder.
The money hits our account. Our shoot is officially happening.
First thing I see is I mentioned Stacy.
Can we find an IP address that will link us to the city?
It's not as easy as you think. There's a lot of work.
And it's from the internet.
Yes, this is the guy.
Rascal.
He goes by David Stoner.
First of all, have you been to cops?
Yes.
And what did they tell you?
They said that we didn't really have anything.
Well, you don't.
Let's keep rolling. No matter what, keep rolling.
Okay, sir.
Cut it.
Sir.
Right here, there's a crazy amount of semen. I mean, you told us to lay low. We're laying low. Good. Now people might think you're
Shia LaBeouf.
Perfect.
All right, guys, enjoy the festival. Take care.
What if I don't find him?
If the job was to not find him, we could do that. You know, we need to find somebody that can
Actually find him.
find him. The trunk of that car. You see what is in the trunk of that car. There's nobody here.
Oh my God.
It's ripped. Enough. Come home.
Keep on hearing something.
Think that this guy might be real.
I haven't seen anybody here yet.
It's the burn barrel. Burn barrel.
Do not go here.
Boom, there you go, the trailer for Faking a Murder. It comes out to everybody on video on demand and digital August 6th. Myself and the Something or Nothing a podcast, my homies, you see them on the screen right now, Rukage and Tranquil Ashes. We got that advanced look to check out this comedy horror. It's directed by Stuart Stone, written by Adam Rodness and Stu Stone, and it stars Adam and Stu along with Tony Napo and Josh Cruddas. If you stay tuned to the NRW channel, myself and your girl Tranquil Ashes will be talking to Adam and Stu very shortly, so stay tuned to the channel. You'll hear our interview with them, and yeah, so that's what's good. Initial thoughts on this. Going into this, I didn't hear much on this until we got the info, and then I threw it at y'all. Were y'all aware of Faking a Murder? Are you guys familiar with these cats? Who wants to take this first?
Not at all.
Actually, no, not at all. I wasn't familiar with their work prior to this. I actually hadn't even heard anything about it prior to like getting the little sneak peek before everyone else. But I am pleasantly surprised, I would have to say, by the film. I didn't know what I was like getting into, but I like where they went. Yeah.
What about you, Rue? What were your thoughts when you first heard about it and all that?
This movie was kind of like all over the place, you know. I didn't know if it was a movie at first. I couldn't tell if it was maybe a documentary, and then slowly but surely I was finding out it's a mockumentary kind of esque, you know what I mean? And I like that because it's very kind of Office, but it's very officey, you know, or Parks and Rec. But it's more. I really thought they were trying to find a murderer for most of this. I'll just say that.
Like it was a real film, like it was a real documentary.
I couldn't tell if it was scripted or not, or if there was any type of like, you know, if there was any type of it just kind of scripted. So until the very last 10 minutes, and that's when I found out. I was like, oh, this is what this is. Okay. And that's when I liked it a lot more.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, so let me break it down, I guess, a little bit. We already kind of broke it down all the way, but it's presented in a very real documentary style format from the jump. Stu and Adam are got this footage online, some like YouTube cat like put out, this really creepy video kind of with the innuendo that he killed somebody. And so it's presented as these two filmmakers. And if you look at their IMDb profiles, they've been making films for a while. And it's actually, again, very presented like it's a real documentary that these filmmakers want to just kind of cover this and bring this murder to life. But then it just flips at you at the end, as Ruth stated, that like, what the hell? Like the guy kind of shows himself. All right, here, you know what? Before I even do that, hashtag spoilers. I'm throwing it across the screen. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. We're about to spoil the fuck out of this thing. So if you don't want to spoil this and watch it on August 3rd, stop what you're doing right now. Come back to this, and then you'll hear our thoughts. So there you go. There's your warning. Spoilers. All right. So at the end, we see that this whole video postings, YouTube postings was kind of a ruse from this person who they thought was a killer. He isn't a killer from what they find out. So they decide to kind of framework it for the success of their documentary that he really killed somebody. And so Stu and Adam go back. They fight the guy or which one leaves? Adam's the kind of the hipper cat, right? With
the one that without the glasses, right?
Yeah.
Adam, yeah.
So Adam kind of leaves off because he's upset because he was the money man. Like, bro, you messing with my money. Like, what we gonna do now, bro? Because like, what do I got to sell, cats? So Stu is like, all right, I'm gonna make something out of it. Stu is hardcore. All right, well, we gonna turn this into something. So he goes back to try and kill the guy, I guess. And then that was kind of unsuccessful. And then Adam, so it's just weird twists, and that they eventually kind of kill the guy, but then find out that he really was killing cats. And so it's a weird all over the place film. I was all over the place in my thoughts on this, and I actually spoke with Rue the other day when we first were going to kind of record this review. I was like at the 10 minutes left mark and was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm watching right now. So
that 10 minutes, I'm telling you, that last 10 minutes explains, you're like, oh, okay, I get everything now.
Yeah. So it was an all over the place film for me in concept. So in regards to, let's kind of break this down, just the overall story, and then we'll do characters, and then we'll do kind of like our overall review. So for the story piece, who wants to take it from here? Who wants to just talk about the overall story? Let me throw it to you, Anita. What do you think about just the overall tone and story for you?
I mean, so like you said it before we got to the spoilers. This is a mockumentary. And, you start off like any other like documentary where you meet the directors and producers of the documentary. They're explaining to you how they, came together and the process of how they were going to film this movie. They apparently found a guy, I believe he was on Facebook or some type of social media, and he was making crazy, like in-home, I lock people in the basement type videos in his house. And apparently there was hours and hours of footage of this. So they decided they wanted to go ahead, take this footage, document the guy, catch him in the murders, and that way they can like blow up as famous like film producers. So they do this kind of, to me, like if I were to like summarize this whole movie, I would combo The Interview, The Blair Witch Project, and Scary Movie. If they were all together and had a baby, this is what this movie would be. So, okay, so they finally they sneak up with their little crew to the house, and they're fumbling it up because they don't know what they're doing. And eventually they get to the door and the guy comes out, gun, toting. It was like, hey, get in the house. Get in the house. So at that point you think, oh, he's a gunner. He's done. Like, that's it. He's done. And then he just pops back out the house and is like, hey, just bring in your whole crew. So the whole crew comes in and they basically find out, hey, or at least what it appears to be, that there is no murder. He just did this for internet fame. And that was that. They had a few beers and they left. this leaving them extremely distraught because during that process of negotiation, when they met with him, he ended up tricking him to buy a $27,000 car. It was a wreck. And that was the rest of their movie budget. So they didn't know what else to do. So everybody started quitting on them. And then at the last 10 minutes, the ones that you guys are talking about, last 10, 15 minutes, he makes a decision saying, hey, we're going to make him the murderer we thought that he was. So he goes back to the house, bat in tow, and then a whole lot of hijinks ensues at that point where they're trying to kill him. He's not really dead. The other producer comes in to save him, kills him, and stabs him. He's not really dead. He comes back again. And, eventually the fight's over. The guy's dead. And then they're like, okay, we're still the murderers. How do we fix this? So they call the pizza guy. And unfortunately, the pizza guy becomes the next victim in this story. And when they go to throw him into the fridge, they find out all along that, yes, indeed, he was a murderer. And now they're trying to present this documentary as a hero's tale. And that is basically the story of this mockumentary. So
yes. So what do you think of the overall story? Yeah.
I said,
did you know that it was a mockumentary until later on, or from the jump?
Immediately.
So immediately you felt it.
Immediately.
Yeah.
I knew. I mean, I guess
that's the way they presented themselves. Like,
correct.
Come on now. Yeah.
Also, I feel like I'm mixing up the names, but the one with the glasses, in the movie, he reminds me so much of another actor whose name escapes.
Shia LaBeouf.
Not Shia LaBeouf.
No, but that was a joke within the film. When they go to the film screening, he was like, hey, it's Shia LaBeouf. Yeah,
that's right. Right.
In joke.
There's another actor. I can't. He's in like so many things. He's super famous. I can't think of it.
What you're saying. Yeah, he does. He fares very like somebody.
Very similar. So at first I thought it was like, I was like, wait a minute, is that him? But it wasn't. But I knew it was a mockumentary right away. I just wanted to know how they were going to go about it.
Yeah.
I feel like the tones shift a couple of times within the movie. So that could be what's like very jarring for like people maybe when they're watching it, because they may like, when you go into the movie, you think, okay, let's say like for me, a mockumentary, I'm thinking it's just going to be jokes like the whole way through, right? Because I already know what this is. But then there's some twists where it's like, okay, it's not really a documentary they're doing anymore. This is a whole nother thing while filming this documentary, and then presenting it in a very serious manner, like, okay, we're the heroes of this story just to save their careers. So I think that twist was good. I didn't expect that twist. And I do like the fact that it was a mockumentary. I've seen so many real documentaries. I think that's why I was like, no, I know what this is. It's like the over exaggerated lean in, the over seriousness in like certain faces in the stare-offs in the distance. I was like, yeah, no, I know what this is. But I mean, I enjoyed it.
Okay. All right, what did you think?
I think the main reason why it took me so long to figure out what the movie actually was, which was a mockumentary, was mainly because the people outside of the crew made it feel like it was actually real. Like when they were telling their families at the beginning of the movie, like, hey, we're putting all of our money into this and this is what's going down. And the reactions of the families made it seem like it was like, oh, yeah, this is, they're actually going through with this. And then with the private detective, he also seemed super real. And he's also my favorite character, just saying. He was so funny. The only reason why I thought the movie was not like it was the real deal was because of the people. It was the family, the private detective, all of them. The way they led it to seem was that they were for real going through with this whole thing, that they were trying to find this guy, that they were going to catch him in the act. I should have caught on by the time that they were like, okay, let's go to the guy's house and let's just apprehend him ourselves. Let's catch the murderer. Like, let's not handle with police because that's probably going to get into some shit. But then that, yeah, no, I'm kind of clueless when it comes to movies, y'all. You know, I tend to usually be a little more on top of things like this, but for some reason, this one just kind of went right over my head. Last 10 minutes though, kind of really just kind of opened my eyes. I was like, oh yeah, no, they wouldn't be showing this on actual screen if this was going down. It'd be it would be some funny ass bloopers though. Um, but yeah, that's basically that's kind of what I thought about it.
Now I'm with you. I would agree in regards to how it was set up very Borat like. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
right.
very exaggerated. So like
Yeah,
again, like I'm with you in that. I thought it was all over the place. It could be mockumentary. Like I'm always thinking things up to something as a filmmaker. But then I was like, maybe they're just doing it in a Borat style because it was very animated in the way they conducted themselves in front of their family. But the fact that they did that in front of their family was very, maybe that's just the style they're going for. They're trying to copy a Borat type of style. And so it was with the dealer, or not the dealer, but like one of your favorite characters said, the private investigators that we were trying to get. When they try to get my Jamaican brother, when they weren't showing the caddy and they're trying to mask his face, and then they finally showed his face and shit. I'm like, all right, they trying to fuck around. So let's see where they're going with this shit. And then later on, then obviously there's no way you're gonna kill somebody, allow some dudes try to kill some cats, and you're just still standing there recording the shit. Like, nah, son, nah.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. So it was definitely some scripted stuff. So my whole thing is, I understand what they're going for. I think it's definitely different than some of the other content. They're trying to play off of mockumentary type of films, true crime, which is famous, which is their whole genre that they're going for and trying to get that audience. My thing is the characters, you have to be tuned to the two stars. So Adam and Stu, I like them in a way, but then I fucking wanted to punch them both in the fucking head. Because there was especially Stu, the cat without the glasses. He was just annoying, man. Like, and I'm gonna tell Stu in his face when I talk to him when we do an interview with him. Like, bruh, I wanted to hit you in your head, bruh, because he was driving me crazy. Just his wildness and nuances and his not wanting to drink after somebody. Although I can understand that. Stu, I'm with you on not drinking after another brother, sharing a beer. I don't know if I could get down with that. Although I have done it with homies and shit like that, but I understand that nuance. And I like that part of his character that gave him that kind of like, that relatable aspect of him. Mm-hmm. But just like 10 minutes in, like, I'm just annoyed by these brothers. I'm like, I'm trying to ride with you, but you're just annoying. I couldn't get down with their vibe.
I think they were supposed to be annoying. Like, I feel like that was 100% what they were trying to do, and they nailed it on the head because
they sure did.
They were a little bit, it's just they did everything you're not supposed to do. Like, they did everything you're not supposed to do in these situations. And also to what you were saying before, I think that's why I akin it to Blair Witch, because I think that's one of the reasons why people found it to be so relatable, is because it put you in a position for you to be like, oh man, that's exactly how it would be. And like, if I was in that situation, like, you don't necessarily think what it would be like, just be lost in a forest in the dark. Well, that's probably some pretty scary stuff. So, with this and them showing the whole, concept of the family and them like tearing them down about their concept and everything, like, that's kind of a real situation. So I get like where they're going with that for sure. I like it. I think it's very different. Very,
I'm with
very
you. I definitely think like you said, and for you, there's definitely an audience for this. It's different than other films, which is what we need, because everything is so cookie cutter. So with that being said, and I'll throw it right back at you, Anita, and then we'll go to Rue. Characters. So we talked about the story. Do you have a favorite character, least favorite character within the film? So I'll just go for myself real quick. Stu, I wanted to punch you in the face, dog. But then I liked your bravado later on when you like, all right, man, we fucked up. I made my boy spend all his money. Let's turn this into something. So he was like, I'm gonna just go over there, go ham with this baseball bat and just try to turn this into something. You need a ride or die road dog in your camp like that. That's gonna make something out of nothing. like our shows, like our other podcast. Make sure you tune into the Something or Nothing podcast with Rue, Anita, and your boy. So yeah, so Stu, man, I just wanted to punch you in the face, but at the same time, you became my favorite character in who you are later on at the end of the film in the final 10. So that's me, Stu. What about you, Anita? Who's your cat in this project?
I mean, I'm gonna say two, and the reason why I'm gonna say two, the villain. I mean, no surprise. I guess for me, because I feel like the way that he acted his part, could have very well been placed in a actual attempt at a horror movie. He was very convincing, I believe, as someone like if this was supposed to be a real horror film, that's what they were going for. I would believe that guy had somebody in the basement or in the fridge, is making these crazy videos, all of that. I would believe that acting from, or that those parts in a real horror film. So I really enjoyed that. And then also the camera crew. I enjoyed the bob and weave around, what's going on, and the fact that if you think about in real life, camera crews are pretty fearless because they'll be in the middle of literally anything, like bombs going off, craziness, and they're just filming away, like just documenting everything. So I think that, and of course the villain, were my favorite parts of the film. Hey, Rue?
Yeah, we all know I love the inspector, the private investigator. I mean, he was really funny, and he was very straight, get to the point. I love how he was trying to like get more money out of them, even though he basically already did the job. Like he already knew where he was. He had the address, he had the IP address, and all that. And he's just like, I'm gonna need a little more to get it from you. And then I also love the pizza delivery guy. RIP, by the way. That was so bad that they had to kill him. Anyway, I love the pizza delivery boy because he really didn't like the villain. He was like, "Yeah, I know that guy. Yeah, I want him gone. Like, I'll show you where he lives." And I just like how nonchalant everybody was actually really good with their part. Just like they're super believable and whatnot. And that's why when I was like, oh wow, there's a real, like, he's just willing to kind of like be a, I think that's another thing that caught me off guard, was like everyone was so willing to just kind of be on camera. That's when I also should have known. Just anyway, yeah, basically just the private investigator and the pizza delivery boy. The two main guys, though, I'm kind of with you with that, Kuya, where it's just like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Just like you wanted to smack them a little bit just to kind of get them in gear. Like, yo, come on now. But yeah, that's kind of it.
All right. So we talked story, we talked characters. Let's give our final review. Would you recommend this to your friends, your peoples out there? Let me throw it back to Anita and then Rue, and then I'll chime in last. Let's go.
I mean, honestly, I feel like this is a great after party Taco Bell movie. Like, I really feel like, after, you've had a good night of partying and you trying to wind down, you're not trying to go home. Maybe. You're not trying to go home, but you're not trying to do anything crazy. So it's time for you to just like, okay, all right, pop some snacks on, and like watch the film. I think that would be a great time. And it's funny. It's definitely funny. So I especially like the part with the drone just getting lost in the cornfield.
Yeah.
I was just like, I would be so upset. But that I would also not walk into cornfields alone. That is just not within my DNA. So yeah.
Are you a true crime fan?
Like, I am, but I'm not stupid. Like, I gotta go in a little bit more. If I'm gonna do it, I will be strapped up.
Yeah, like
I'll be prepared.
But if you have gone with him to make this film, like I would have, like everybody else, like even the producers the production company they went to, like you need more to go on than to just go and make this film. Like, come on.
I've done too. There's so many legalities that that were negated in the making of this documentary.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's funny because of, like, you know, at Business Mind, I was like, oh no, you would need permits, you would need signatures, you would need NDAs, you would need so
Yeah.
many things for this to even happen. And no, let me tell you, you would never be able to just drive on this man's property. It would never happen like that.
Yeah.
Not with a full crew anyway. Like, that's just not gonna happen. Not if you
Yeah.
value your career anyway. So yeah.
All right. What about you, Rue? Would you encourage this to the homies? Would you check this film out when it drops?
I would recommend it to my smart friends. I would, if that makes sense. I
feel
would,
you on that.
I would recommend it to my friends that can, follow a story, not like individuals like myself, where you get a little too Stony Maloney when you check a movie out when you were trying to do your best for your friend, and then you just having a completely hard time following along to the story. And then that also translate into the difficult time you having in the interview, but we hear and but at the same time, like, yes, I would definitely to people that I know are smarter than me, yeah, definitely go give this a watch.
I love it. And Rue, you a smart guy though, man. Don't get it
But
twisted.
that's street smart, not this shit. I like what you were saying about that cookie cutter movie stuff, because that's what it is. I'm too used to just watching kind of like the same old stuff they're putting out, and it's like finally coming back to something that's new and fresh and just different. It's nice because it keeps you thinking. It's almost like watching like one of those old Memento movies and stuff like that, like a Nolan kind of movie, but funnier. Because it's just all these twists and turns, and that's definitely why I think it's worth a watch.
Although I'm with you with your way of thinking right now as well, because I'm in between, because like you said, I feel I'm a smart cat, but like, even though I understood this, like I said, 10 minutes in, if I didn't want to do this review for this amazing studio and PR team that I'm working with and all that, thank you for allowing us to watch Faking Murder, I probably would have turned it off, because like Stu made me want to punch him in the face. And it was just like annoying. Like, I couldn't get down with it, but like, I did it for the culture and I did it for the people. So like, if I was to recommend it to a cat, yeah, maybe I'd recommend it to a true crime fan, of my friends that are true crime fans
with a sense of humor.
But my regular homies, they'd probably want to punch me in my face for recommending them this movie for a guy that they want to punch in the face. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, and I wouldn't say, you're saying smart fans, because like a lot of people who think they're quote unquote smart are all about Tenet. Like, and you brought up Christopher Nolan. I didn't really much like Tenet, to be honest with you, for those, that are late to the game, and probably you guys are surprised. I don't know. I know a lot of people that are down with Tenet. I was bored out of my mind. I enjoyed certain aspects of it, but in most parts, I was bored out of my fucking mind. And I love me some Christopher Nolan on some other shit, but Tenet was boring. I know you didn't look for that review in this review, but there you go. But we're talking about smart cast, right?
Yes.
So that's why I'm just gonna add that in there. Tenet is supposed to be a smart film. Faking a Murder is different and smart in its own way, but maybe it just wasn't my cup of tea. So I would recommend it to true crime fans, but I don't know if I could recommend it to everybody. And I'm looking forward to talking to Stu and Adam and stuff, because I got to give them props, man. They are doing it, because as a filmmaker myself, I know how hard it is to make a film and get a film out there, produce, get PR firms and getting people like us to talk about it, review it and all that. Man, they getting love. So hey, man,
I think what would have been really cool about this, actually, if this was this movie was made into an interactive one, where you get to make choices. I think that would change,
like a choose your own adventure.
Like a choose your own adventure. Like that's something that's been popping up a little bit more. Coming out. It's not a new concept, but I feel like it's getting a slow revive. And I think this would be something cool for you to be interactive with the movie. That way you have choices to make. And there's so many ways that you can have multiple endings on multiple sections of this movie. I feel like I'll suggest it to them, they can give me a little patent credit,
I feel that. So yeah, awesome. Thank you, Tranquil. Thank you, Rue. Something to Nothing podcast. Let me throw it at y'all to rep for your sign-ons, and then we'll rep our our Something to Nothing, and then we'll sign off out of here. But those are our thoughts on Faking a Murder. Check it out when it drops on August 6th on demand and everything. That's Fake and Murder. Thank you all for showing us to the studio. I should show that love that, but I can't find it off the rip. But I'll put it in the comments so you can check it out. Fake and Murder. Yo, Tranquil, tell them how they can reach out to you and everything that you're all about.
Okay, Tranquil Ashes on all platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, soon to be Twitch, and soon to be podcast. So look out for that. Just chilling right now, cosplaying and getting ready for the next convention. And that's what I'm doing right now. Get over to Rue.
Y'all can find me on Instagram and Twitter acting like a fool at Rookage, ROOHKAGE. I have another podcast right now with my boy Mike, the Open Mic Podcast. You can find that anywhere where podcasts are listened to or watched. We got some visuals in the works, so that's going to be a thing soon. But yeah, that's all I got going.
There you go. I love it. Make sure you follow both Tranquil and Rue. And of course, the three of us together on the Something or Nothing podcast. We just dropped our latest episode. I think it was episode 6, 5. I don't know. 7?
I thought. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm lost. I can't count. And I'm Asian. But I'm the wrong Asian for that. Anyway. Yo, Something or Nothing podcast with your boy Rue, Kuya P, and Tranquil. Check it out. It's out there. On the NRW. Me, I am Kuya P. You can follow me at Strange Since 1977, as well as at Temple Far East, over at the NRW with the Something or Nothing gang, at the NRW, and at New Release Wednesday, where nerds rule the world. Also over at the Nerds of Color, where we give you POC perspective within pop culture. And of course, my show, Pal Show, representing Philippine X people everywhere. All right, y'all. For Tranquil, Rue, Kuya P, Something or Nothing. This is your NRW review on Faking a Murder. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And don't fake no murders, y'all. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. It's not a good thing. It's not a good look. We're out of here. Boom.
No